Hari Om. Welcome back to Story Time. Today we will hear the story of a great devotee of the Lord, and that is the story of King Ambarish. Now, King Ambarish was the ruler of the entire earth at that time. In those days, he was the sole emperor, but being a devotee of the Lord, he always considered the Lord as the true ruler and that he was just doing his duty as an instrument. He was so devoted to the Lord that with all his senses and his body, he would worship the Lord. So, with his eyes, he would love to see the beautiful form of the Lord. With his ears, he would love to listen to stories and glories of the Lord. With his nose, he would love to smell the fragrant tulsi leaves offered at the feet of the Lord. With his tongue, he would taste the prasad that was taken after the food was offered to the Lord as Naivedya. And so, with his feet, he would walk to the temple. With his hands, he would do all the rituals and offerings to the Lord. With his mind, he would meditate upon the Lord. And thus, all the day long, he would spend his moments thinking of the Lord and going about his royal duties as a servant of the Lord. The Lord was also so pleased with King Ambarish that he offered the great Sudarshan Chakra as a blessing to Ambarish and told him that the Sudarshan Chakra would be always there to guard him. One day, King Ambarish decided to undergo a great vrata or penance, and this vrata is known as the Dwadashi Vrata. For this, for one entire year, the king underwent a lot of spiritual disciplines. And then, as the year drew to a close, the king fasted for 3 days along with his queen. And then, on the 12th day of the lunar cycle, he was about to break his fast. But before that, he called multitudes of Brahmins and holy men and rishis there and gave them lots of gifts. The dakshina he offered was 60 crore cows with their horns encased in gold and hooves encased in silver. Because after all, he was the ruler of the entire earth. There was no dearth of riches in his land, but he always wished to donate and contribute to the welfare of the needy. And this was one such occasion. Now, after he had offered the dakshina to all the holy men who had assembled there, he invited them to partake of a feast. And after they had finished eating, the queen and he were about to break their fast. The right time had come, but at that very moment, sage Durvasa entered. Now, sage Durvasa was a highly renowned rishi, and King Ambarish stood up and offered the rishi a seat. He washed the feet of the rishi and requested him to please stay there and join them for lunch. Sage Durvasa told the king that he would like to take a bath in the river Yamuna and then he would join them for food. So as King Ambarish waited, Sage Durvasa went to the river. Now this river was the very same place where King Ambarish would often go and bathe and then retire in the forest Madhuvana for meditation. And Sage Durvasa too, after taking his bath, sat in meditation and the time kept passing by. Now, the opportune moment had come when the king was supposed to break his fast and then the fruits of the great Dwadashi Vrata would be received by the king. But how could he break his fast when the sage had not returned? And so the king was in a dilemma. He asked for advice from all the holy men who had assembled there, and the great wise men told the king that if he would break the fast by taking any morsel of food, that would be adharma, because in our culture, Atithi Devo Bhava means that the guest eats before us. But as the vrata had to be broken at that auspicious moment, the holy men said that the king could take a sip of water. So, in any case, this would not be considered as food, so it would not go against dharma. And King Ambarish, not having any other way, went and took a sip of water. Now King Durvasa, on the banks of the Yamuna, with his divine powers, immediately understood that the king had broken his fast. And in a rage, Durvasa reached there and told the king, "O arrogant king, you could not wait for your guest. You broke your fast before I reached here." And for this, he took out a tuft of his matted locks, and from that hair there sprang a demon. This demon's name was Kritya, and the demon was sent forth to kill Ambarish. But Ambarish was very calm. He did not get agitated, because for the one who follows the right path, there is no need to fear. And as King Ambarish sat there calmly, the Sudarshana Chakra came in front to defend him. And the scorching heat of the chakra soon burnt the demon to ashes. But now, what happened next? The chakra started following sage Durvasa, because sage Durvasa had sent this demon to kill Ambarisha. The chakra who stood there to defend Ambarisha started attacking Durvasa, and Durvasa began running. He ran and ran and ran, but the chakra kept following him. Not knowing what to do, sage Durvasa went to the depths of the ocean, but the chakra followed him there. Then sage Durvasa went to the sky, because he was a very noble sage with great powers, but the chakra followed him there. Then sage Durvasa went and hid in a cave of the great Mount Meru. But the chakra did not lose the track and kept coming behind him. Sage Durvasa did not know what to do. He went from world to world and covered all the 14 worlds, the 7 higher worlds and the 7 lower worlds, right from Bhuloka to Satyaloka and right down to Patala. But the chakra did not leave the track followed by sage Durvasa, and hot on his heels, the chakra kept rolling and kept rolling. Finally, sage Durvasa sought the help of Lord Brahma and said, "Oh Lord Brahma, save me, protect me. The Sudarshana chakra will soon kill me." But Lord Brahma said, "I am helpless, dear sage. You have wounded the sentiments of a great Hari Bhakta. I cannot do anything." And so the sage went to Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva also stood helpless and said, "No, please go to Lord Vishnu, whose chakra is following you." And now, with great hope, sage Durvasa reached Vaikuntha, the abode of Lord Vishnu. But to his utter surprise, Lord Vishnu also said that he was helpless. He said, "I am a servant of my devotee. Once the chakra has been given to my devotee, how can I control it? You have hurt my devotee. How could you dare to do that? Go, ask for forgiveness from him, and then maybe you shall be saved." Now, Durvasa was utterly remorseful and a little bit ashamed. But he had no choice, so he ran to the king. It was an entire year that sage Durvasa had been running away from the chakra. And King Ambarish, the great king that he was waiting for sage Durvasa. He had not partaken of a single grain of food for the entire year. Just on that sip of water, King Ambarish sat waiting. And this was possible only because of the grace of the Lord. And when sage Durvasa reached King Ambarish and fell at his feet and said, "O king, save me from this chakra. I am very sorry for what I have done to you." King Ambarish in fact was embarrassed. He said, "Oh holy sage, please stand up. Your place is not there." And he told the chakra, "Oh chakra, if you feel that I have been true in my devotion to the Lord, if you feel that I have always followed the path of dharma, then please stop tormenting this stage." And hearing this, the Sudarshana chakra soon lost its blazing heat and became calm and came to a standstill. Sage Durvasa was so impressed and he realized the greatness of a devotee. And soon King Ambarish also offered his highest respects to the sage and told him to please partake of the lunch that had been waiting for so long. Happily, sage Durvasa agreed, and soon the king and the queen also joined the holy sage. So, in this story, we always remember that the devotee never perishes and true devotion always wins the heart of the Lord. And sage Durvasa also blessed King Ambarish that this story of his will live forever and ever for ages to come, and the glory of his devotion would never be forgotten. If you like today's story, do share it with your friends and ask them to join us for this storytelling journey week after week. Until we meet again, Hari Om.